You, little man or woman, sat behind your computer, you know more. You know more than what Messi thinks about playing with Neymar or about how much he's worth to Barca or PSG. Don't be silly.
Hi guys, and welcome to Q&A Extra. This is where myself and Matt take one of the questions from the Q&A and delve a little bit deeper into it. So, this question for you is from D3TROX. So, unpopular opinion. Neymar performed well against Atalanta, but not good enough for his price tag or to be ranked at Messi and Ronaldo's level. I think he has the potential to be ranked amongst them. Is he not already ranked amongst them?
I would rank him up there. I think with Neymar, there's... Unfortunately, he's done this to himself. The play acting and the drama and the nonsense off the pitch and, you know, the diving on the pitch has really soured his reputation, because when he's doing it, he's one of the best footballers in the world. And for me, is the most entertaining and exciting footballer to watch in world football, bar none.
Yeah.
Bar none. I think he performed very well against Atalanta. I saw some stats about it was attempted passes, completed passes, attempted take-ons, completed take-ons, dribbles, shots created, all this kind of stuff, and he was first. He got kicked for 90 minutes, and he was running the show. Every time you get the ball, you think, hold on, something's going to happen. Yeah. And he beats a man, and he did a few tricks, and his 2 or 3 pass players. It's almost electrifying to watch Neymar. I think he's absolutely fantastic. I think the price tag, I've always said, is not his fault.
No.
PSG wanted him. That was his release clause? Or maybe that was just as much as Barcelona wanted. They paid the money for him. Neymar had no say in that. Neymar had no say about how much PSG were willing to pay. I believe it was the release clause. So yeah, you can't really hold the price tag against him. To be ranked at Messi and Ronaldo's level, the problem is when people talk about Messi and Ronaldo, they talk about goals. And Neymar is not an out-and-out striker.
And he's injured for half the season, normally.
Yeah, so. He's injured a lot. Neymar was in the team with Suarez and Messi, who are the goal scorers. He's in the team playing in deeper positions at PSG, where Cavani or Mbappe are the goal scorers. So I think if you were to compare stats, yeah, he wouldn't be up there at Messi and Ronaldo's level. But in terms of ability, it's insane. It's like when you see like an older kid on the playground at school just running rings around everybody, and everyone else looks like they're running through treacle and they're really slow. It's unbelievable to watch Neymar and see the amount he gets kicked, and he keeps going and keeps producing moments and keeps playing at such an elite level. It's insane. And anyone who seems to like disagree with him, I don't like him, this and that, I just say just focus on the football.
Yeah.
You know what? Yeah, diving winds me up. Play acting pisses me off. I don't necessarily like it when they're flashy and get up to dodgy shit in their personal life, but you know what? I'm sure a billion other football players do. Exactly.
I mean, even with some of those situations, you can argue Messi and Ronaldo have had their moments as well. Do you know what I mean? So, I agree with that one. I think you have to, with these debates, especially the Messi, Ronaldo or Neymar or whoever, these debates, I think it is important to detract from all the noise and focus on what, like you say, what you're seeing on a pitch and how, as a football fan, how that makes you feel. Like, do you know what I mean? Like you talking about Neymar and how amazing that is for you to watch. That's what it's about. And I think, I mean, people joke about the injuries and like, does he do it on purpose around his sister's birthday or whatever it is? But I think despite the injuries that he's had, these foot injuries, the metatarsal, all that stuff, he's still producing a decent amount. I mean, I think he's on, again, correct me if I'm wrong, I think he's on about 19 goals this season. He's always kind of around that 20 goal mark, and sometimes he's missing half the season with an injury. So I think, again, this Messi Ronaldo, that's on another level. I don't think there's any point trying to bring someone else into that weird little duo that everyone's so obsessed over. Fair enough if you're obsessed over it, but whatever. but I think he 100% has the potential to be ranked amongst them, amongst other players from the last, I don't know what the last decade you want to go off, maybe longer, of really great players that have brought a lot to the sport, that have provided us with fantastic moments. I think he was already in that position, I believe. So yeah, I just, and Atalanta, you know, that's an example of how brilliant, you know, he really is. So yeah, I just think, like I say, the injuries, it's a shame. I would love to see what his stats could be without the injuries, because I think people do love stats, people do look at the number of goals, you know, maybe without those, he'd be hitting, you know, 30 plus every season. And then, you know, maybe that would silence a few critics. Yeah. But, and like you say, the price tag, it's not his fault that this sport pays ridiculous. You know, they want to pay ridiculous money. Like you say, it wasn't his fault that PSG made that call. I see why he gets stick, like you say, for the diving and stuff like that. But I've always been a fan of Neymar. I'm not mad at him. And I think good for him that he's putting on those performances, and that maybe the people that do hate on him are waking up and thinking, God, he is a good player, and put a bit of respect on his name like he deserves, I think.
Like, if someone started playing like Neymar now, right, some kid come through and was playing like Neymar, he'd be hyped as the next Neymar, the next Messi, the next Ronaldo, the next best thing ever. Like, what he does on the football pitch is just absurd. And I think, for me, I've narrowed it down to two things: jealousy and bitterness when people hate Neymar. There is no other way that you can look at someone who is so utterly talented and does such insane things with a football and then go, yeah, but overrated. Yeah, but dive, but this, but that, but for the money, but money this, but wages, but transfer. Just shut up. It's all just absolute nonsense. Because if another player did it, right, some bloke in League Two, right, no offence to League Two, some bloke in League Two or the Spanish third division started pissing about and, you know, spending a bit of money or diving on the pitch, no one would care. No one would care, and no one would say, oh, but he should be doing this, and look at the way he's living. Neymar is a talented footballer, and I think as well what people forget is Barcelona want him back. Messi has said in numerous occasions, you know, we love to play with the world's best, and Neymar is one of those. You know, PSG obviously deemed him worthy enough to spend 220 million euros on him. Yeah. Do you think, and this is mainly a question to, you know, all these little trolls I see on the internet, in the YouTube comment section, on Twitter, do you think they're all wrong? So
Messi is wrong. Of course, Neymar is not one of the world's greatest footballers.
You think, you little man or woman sat behind your computer, you know more. You know more than what Messi thinks about playing with Neymar or about how much he's worth to Barca or PSG. Don't be silly. Don't be silly. I mean, this is just, again, obviously a football fan's opinion is their opinion. They're allowed whatever opinion they want, and I implore everyone to share their opinions. It's great. But yeah, it's kind of a bit wayward to just think, you know what? Neymar's not worth that. Messi's wrong. PSG are wrong. He's actually crap. You just watch him play and it's absolutely insane. The Atalanta game, the bit that summed it up for me was, is it Pasalic who scored for Atalanta? So he scored quarter-final, potentially sending Atalanta through, you know, to the semi-final. He's hyped. He's on his game. He's confident. He's feeling a bit gassed. He's just scored a sweet goal. Neymar just comes, sizes him up, nutmeg, right, goes through him, runs, and Pasalic is like turning round, like grabbing at thin air, and just comes back down to earth with a bang. And it's just, he's just thought, I was feeling good for about 30 seconds before the real star of the show made an absolute mockery of me. And yeah, Neymar could do that all the time, and he gets, you know, as I say, he gets kicked to shit, and I just think he has to be at Messi or Ronaldo's level of ability. There is no question in my mind. If you want to bring up goal-scoring stats, you can do. You're not going to get them.
He contributes to a lot of assists, though.
Yeah.
I mean, I think, like, and that's the other thing in what you're saying, in that he's always been part of, like, a couple of players that are of fantastic quality. And I think like the last 3 seasons, he's got over 10 assists each season, at least. So it's like, that as well. It's not just because people could turn around like, if he was scoring loads of goals, all he does is score goals.
Yeah,
he doesn't
but they
assist
probably
the
would.
Team, blah, blah, blah. Well, you know what? Neymar scores a decent amount of goals and he gets a decent amount of assists. So leave him alone, I say.
Yeah. And it's not, as I say, off the pitch, not a fan of his. And I wouldn't, I'm too old to be a fanboy. I wouldn't say I'm fanboy of Neymar at all. I just, as a football fan in general, I just recognise when a guy is absurdly talented. Much like with everyone else, all the best, Cristiano Ronaldo and Messi. The fact that people even have to have the conversation just shows you he's at that level.
True.
Because you wouldn't even have that conversation. This wouldn't even be a separate video if we were discussing whether or not Jack Grealish was at Messi or Ronaldo's level. Because it's quite an easy answer.
Sorry, Jack.
I like Jack Grealish. It popped into my head first.
If you're watching Jack, apologies, but
I don't know.
It's the truth.
Julian Brandt. That's just someone that comes into my head. It wouldn't even be a question. We wouldn't even need to do this video.
Yeah.
So the fact that people are asking and bringing it up, just shows that Neymar is in that discussion and is one of the most elite players this century for me.
Well, there you go then. I think that answers our question.
Yes, thank you.
Yes, thank you for that question, and thank you for all of your questions. Don't forget to keep your eyes peeled on our community tab on a Wednesday evening, where we do put up the opportunity for you guys to ask us your questions. So yes, don't forget to hit the like button as well, and check out all the other content we have got going on at Onefootball. And until next week, myself and Matt will see you guys later.